Hey friends, Kat Kabira here, and greetings from Lisbon. So, some things to ponder. When is your caring true caring, and when is it actually a defense mechanism? I was considering the difference between the words, the definition of being an empath versus being empathetic. And I pulled up the dictionary today. I'm going to read to you the dictionary definitions. So empathy is the ability to share and understand the feelings of another. Empath, a person with, usually in science fiction, a person with paranormal ability to understand the mental or emotional state of another. Now, there's definitely a nuance in that. And, I remember back in the day when I first started teaching, one of my assistants had said to me, Kat, it's like you're working with all the supernatural people, right? And helping them hone their supernatural skills. And, a very common term that we use for people who can easily, drop into the mental field, know someone's thoughts, know someone's emotions, really take on their body pain, understand their body posture, that would be someone who's an empath. And a lot of my work is around how to actually start to own boundaries and respect the boundaries of another. And when could this be a skill set? Like, let's say that you're, teaching or doing healing work or even coaching, or, when is it something that has integrity? And when is it something that actually could be damaging or harmful to someone else and to you? And, I think no matter how you're wired, we all have a very unique character, a way that we are wired in our energy field. Some of us are more porous, some of us are more dense. If you look at all the spiritual and the practices, the spiritual practices, anywhere, not just like in any one culture, but in most cultures, starting to cultivate the compassion and empathy, that's actually really important. Kindness is essential. And there's a really big difference between I'm aware of myself, I'm with myself, I'm in my center, and I can see you. And I actually can recognize that you're in some pain. And I'm going to choose to extend out to see, like, how are you doing? I'm going to bring some care to you. That I'm not going to take on your feelings, but I'm going to have some compassion. I'm going to understand your feelings and share. Like I'm creating a bridge that you're not alone in your pain, and I'm going to reach out. But I'm not going to give up my own boundary. I'm not going to give up my center. I'm not going to give up myself. I'm not going to become your pain. I'm going to be with you in your pain. I'm going to sit beside you in your pain. And it makes me think about Brene Brown, where there was this beautiful podcast where they really were talking about that true compassion must have boundaries. So to me, when I think about empathizing with someone, it's not that you are sitting beside them, you're with them, but you're not in them, right? You're not going to take on their pain. You're like, I'm going to be with you through this. And I can recognize where you are. And that, I think you can agree, like when we're in that place of pain, I remember one time having a therapist who, like, I was crying about something and she started crying with me. And I was like, lady, that's not cool. Like, this is mine, right? But it's very different if, like, someone can witness me, so there is a power in being able to be witnessed. So that to me is like a healthy empathy, right? And that's something that we all want to cultivate, no matter who we are, right? Where we have boundaries, where we're in our center, we're aware of ourselves, and it's like, and I can see you, I can see me, and I can see you. Look, we just want to be seen. So when we talk about being an empath, and this is just like, I could talk to you for 3 weeks about this, but to keep it brief, usually it's empaths that I've seen, and I'm speaking about me personally too, it is a bit of a trauma response. It's like, I don't feel safe in myself. I don't feel safe in this world. I don't really want to be here. I don't feel safe that I can just be sovereign and do my own thing. Like anyone else's actions, thoughts, and feelings will dictate my reality. So in order to be able to feel safe or even to take any action or to even allow myself to have my reality, I am not in me, I am in all of you. So I am going to track you. I'm going to track your mental field, your emotional field, your physical field, maybe even your astral field. I'm going to track you to find out what's going on. And that's how I'll know what I can do. So you're not in your core when you're doing that. You're not in your center. And it's not even, I care so much about you, I see you. It's, I am terrified and this is why I'm doing this. So it's a very different action, where it's invasive to the other. It's also painful to the self because it's like I've completely abandoned myself. I've lost my ground. I've in some ways even betrayed myself. And it will create a lot of anxiety because the moment you leave your body, you're going to get really anxious. So I'm saying this because, when I work with like the newbie empaths, the first little layer is like, but I really care about everyone and I just want to make sure they're okay. And it's like, but wait a minute, is that true? Like, do you really care about them? Or is it that you're so scared and that's why you're behaving this way? And I don't know if everyone who has that empath skill set, meaning your ability to track someone on those levels, is just a trauma response, or is it also that some of us come in this way? I know for myself, like I came in with an open system and also there was trauma, right? And most people I work with, it's the same thing. So I honestly can't tell you the answer, right? And I don't even know if that's really important. To me, what's important, and I get very practical with the energetics, is, where are you coming from? What's your intention? How is it affecting your system? What's happening in the relational field when you're working with someone else? Like what's actually going on? So this is why, whether it's like you're learning how to work with your own energy system, or you actually want to become an energetic practitioner with someone else, like you really have to understand where your system is at, when you're in your body, why you're leaving, how to create boundaries. And also really, what's the trauma response? What are the little nuances that we do when we get uncomfortable? And how can we learn to stay with those parts of ourselves and create potentially like a different possibility? So if these are things that you like to gnaw on, if you'd like to delve more into how to really own yourself, do we have superpowers? I think we are much more magnificent than we let on, right? So if you also would like to delve into what some people would call superpowers, right? I mean, what to me is normal, the dictionary says is paranormal. So if you'd like to delve into maybe your superpowers, you'd also just like to enjoy being on this planet and enjoy being around other people, right? Like to really feel safe in your own body when you're around others, to really know what it's like to land and be at home with yourself. I have some very magical trainings happening this March: Demystifying the Energy Body, which is an intro course, and also Illumination, which is a 6-week course in really understanding your own energy body. And this is all part of the Kabira School of Energy, where you can become a practitioner in the healing arts. So contact me for more information. I would love to see you, and have a very wonderful